Good morning. It's 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and welcome to Choose You, the Mrs. Globe powered IGTV show that is to inspire you to your life's crescendo, showing you how to choose you every day and every step of the way. Hello there, Mrs. North America. Hey, look at this. I love it. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Again, I am Tasha Haskins, Mrs. Curvey Globe 2020, also the author of Choose You, Change Your Path and Walk in Your Purpose. And welcome to Choose You. It is the Mrs. Globe powered IGTV show that will inspire you to your life's crescendo, showing you how to choose you every day and every step of the way. Chenese, I see you on there. I'm super excited, you guys. Our guest is like phenomenal today, so get ready, get ready, get ready. Now, of course, I have to give my shout outs to my sponsors, my beautiful makeup artist who made me match my outfit today. That is Queen's Allure. She's based out of Olympia, Washington. Thank you, Vanessa Nickerson, the owner of Queen's Allure. As well as my beautiful paparazzi jewelry, earrings, and necklace provided by Monique Bruner, who is out of Oklahoma. Thank you, Monique, for making sure that I have the beautiful jewelry. And last but not least, my wardrobe, this beautiful green dress, is from Fashion Nova Curve. Thank you, Fashion Nova Curve. I really, really appreciate you for sponsoring my wardrobes, making sure that I look amazing, sexy, awesome for my my shows and my appearances as well. But I am, again, incredibly thrilled. Oh, Shalimar, hi, sweetheart. I love seeing everybody on today. And of course, if you're not able to make it to watch it live, it will be archived on the Mrs. Globe channel, as well as my website, which is tashahaskins.com. So again, if you are just now signing in, I am Tasha Haskins, Mrs. Curvey Globe 2020, and this is Choose You. It is a Mrs. Globe IGTV powered show that is about inspiring you to your life's crescendo, showing you how to choose you every day and every step of the way. Hello there, Shalimar. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Thank you. You know, I have to be an example. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell people to look good and I don't look good. You know how that goes. All right. So our guest today, her name is Chenese Lewis. She is a powerhouse. She is someone, although she's short in stature, she's someone that I've looked up to for, over a decade. We met in 2007. I was a headshot winner in Plus Models magazine, and we connected on MySpace. MySpace, you guys. Yes, that's how long we go back. MySpace is how we met. And she has just been a trailblazer for curvy women all across the globe. She was named as Forbes, one of the original influencers of the plus size industry. So she is just amazing. She also was the very first Miss Plus America. So I was the 8th Miss Plus America, but she was the very first. So I am just thrilled to have her on the show today. She is outstanding, beautiful, powerful, her passion for women, and just see women that look like us, right? Have a voice, and she's done that on so many levels. So I'm very excited. I'm actually going to bring her on here right now. So you guys get ready to meet the one and only Chenese Lewis. So I hop on right now. Shalimar, you're so sweet. I think you're biased, but it's okay. All right, so Chenese should be popping out. Oh, there she is, you guys. Okay, so again, the beautiful Chenese Lewis. She is in Louisiana still. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. And this woman right here, again, just my idol. You know, I think about it, I'm like, I look up to you. Obviously not physically. I'm 5'10". She's like, I don't know, 5'4" or something. But 5'6". No, you wait. You're 5'6", really?
Yes, I'm not short. I'm average size.
She's like, you're tall, okay? So she is this, but again, just a beautiful woman, a larger than life individual. And I'm so honored to have you on the show, Chenese. Thank you so much for taking time. I mean, this is a woman who, again, has been named in Forbes magazine. She's been on Dr. Phil. She's been on E! News. And she took the time to come on my little, show. It's been going for about a month and a half. And, we go way back a little bit. So I kind of leverage that. I'm not going to lie. So I've been knowing you, girl. I need you, So she took the time to come on the show today and show us, again, how she chose herself, and with all these accolades and all these amazing things. So Chenese, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm not a morning person, but I got up for you.
Well, it makes you feel better. You're like, it's 11 o'clock where you're at, right? In Louisiana?
That's a.m. It's 11 a.m. still. So
So you're like, listen, Dr. Phil, E-News, I don't do interviews past noon unless it's afternoon. Is that what you say? Is that what
don't wake me up till noon.
You are so funny. And you know what? You know, it's because, you know, your only child and your mom probably accommodated that. But, you know, I already know your mom, and she probably was like, okay, baby, you don't got to wake up, you know. So I already know your mom was probably like, yes, baby. So, well, I'm 2 hours ahead of you, if that makes you feel any better. Does it? No?
Yeah, that's good.
You were so again, you guys, I'm just honored to have you on the show. I've missed you. I mean, between, you know, of course I'm low-key stalker, so of course I'm aware of the things you're doing, and I loved your recent, you know, magazine cover. I mean, you just continue to inspire, which makes me feel like I'm never gonna get too old to be an inspiration, whether I take time off.
Wait a minute, what that mean? We close in age.
No, I'm trying to say though, like you're still as relevant as you were in 2007. Okay, it's a compliment.
Okay.
It's a compliment, dang it. I'm like,
Okay.
I love you. So again, like you were named by Forbes magazine as one of the most influential women in the plus industry, which is, I mean, duh. Like, I mean, I'm like, okay, that's a no-brainer. At the same time, it's amazing to be recognized by such a prestigious publication. Obviously, you pioneered. You were the very first Miss Plus America. I mean, you know, 7 years later, I came along, but you actually set the stage for what that looks like. So that is amazing and exciting. But I just have to ask, you know, I want to ask you, I know a little bit about your story, but they may not know. And those who are going to be watching in the future, can you share with me a little bit about your testimony and just, you know, kind of how you became like this super like internationally recognized icon in the industry?
Well, I'm born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so I discovered what the plus industry was in the summer of 2000. But unfortunately, I lived in an area that at the time didn't have very many opportunities in not just modeling, but acting, everything I wanted to do. It just I wasn't in the area to do it. So, I was looking for things to do. And first, I went on modeling conventions that were a waste of money, didn't help anything. Then I discovered online the Miss Plus America pageant. And it was the first year of the pageant. And I had never entered a pageant, never knew anyone that participated in pageantry, but I was looking for a way to gain exposure because my original goal was to be, you know, in plus size modeling and acting. And so I entered the pageant, and my first attempt at participating in the pageant, I won the national title. So that was like the first and last pageant I ever participated in. I'm one and done. There's no need for me to
Took me
compete
3
again.
times, so obviously, like you have the it factor and I don't. Like I feel
No,
about
no.
that, but it's fine.
But I mean, I hadn't participated in pageants before, but I just, you know, had a good stage presence and that personality. So that really helped me out, even without, you know, pageantry training. So then I became Miss Plus America 2003. And so I was like, if I really want to pursue this seriously, I need to be where the action is. So the following year, 2004, I relocated to Los Angeles. And I said, well, if I could win a national beauty title, I could do anything. And so I went to Los Angeles without any contracts, any opportunities. I just went there on faith and was able to build a brand from scratch.
That, I mean, that is powerful to me. Because again, you know, what I love about you, and I think something that we have in common, of course, I'm not quite as powerful as you. I'll get there at some point. But anyway, is that like, okay, this is the path less traveled. I'm going to go that path, you know? And I think that's amazing that you were willing to take that risk really, and ultimately for women like me, and going into a city and a state where, you know, Twiggy's in and, you know, all of that is in. Hi, Consuela. Yes, everyone's excited. Hi, Consuela. How are you, sweetheart? You know, where this is what's in. And you're like, yeah, so hi, I'm Chenese Lewis. If you guys don't know, like I'm infiltrating LA. And I just think that's so powerful. You kind of already kind of led into my next question. What inspired you? Because, I competed as well, well, it took me 3 years. I'm not as cool as you are, but whatever. We're
Stop.
not going to go there. And
Stop.
so, and I took kind of a different approach, but you were like, I'm going to capitalize off of this and make my brand grow and do me. So what inspired you to actually say, I'm going to capitalize off of being the very first Miss Plus America and make this a big deal, go across from one coast to the next coast and begin to trailblaze for women who are curvy or better that look like you and I?
Well, I decided that since I had a national title, I was going to use it to my advantage to make me stand out in Los Angeles. Because there were other plus size women trying to be actresses in Los Angeles and do things, but I felt like this would make me stand out from the crowd. Now, I was the first Miss Plus America, so nobody had ever heard of the pageant, and they didn't even know what Miss Plus America meant. Some people was like, what does that mean? Because it's not Miss Plus Size America. So Miss Plus had people confused. And so so I had to explain what the title.
8 years later, I had to do the same thing.
And then my platform was a positive body image. Back then, that wasn't a keyword like it is now. I had to explain to people what a positive body image meant. So like at the time, I was just defining everything as I went along. I was something new and exciting, and I used it to my advantage in Los Angeles because again, it made me stand out from the crowd. Like Miss Plus America pageant wasn't at the point where they had a PR person that had opportunities for me, so it didn't give me opportunities and appearances and things laid out for me. I had to hustle. So I went out there and, I was an advantage to the pageant that I was trying to do, so many positive things that they benefited from my hustling in Los Angeles.
Snap, snap, snap to that. Yes, ma'am. I think about it is challenging because you broke down so many barriers. I mean, there were so many things that you have done that have trailblazed for people like myself and others who have gone after you, where you were like, yeah, I don't look like whatever, but this is this is what I do, so I bring to the table. And you've always been very powerful in that. While it's kind of like a little theme now, like, oh, positivity and everyone's inclusive. But before it was cute, there was Chenese Lewis. I just want you guys to know that.
They didn't even know what the word meant.
Right. Before it was a thing, right? There was you. And so that is why it's so powerful about your story. I mean, now you have been on mainstream media such as Dr. Phil, E! News, I mean, many mainstream publications, and I would like you to talk about some of the pushback you received. Because again, you were not the status quo. You did not follow whatever the traditional mindset was about beauty. So can you share a little bit about the challenges you had and how you combated that? Because clearly you're still here, you're still doing your thing. So obviously you made it through it.
Yeah, so there were definitely obstacles trying to build my brand in Los Angeles and, Hollywood, because I was not the looks of the leading lady. And even in the plus size industry, I did not have the stats to be an industry signed professional plus size model. So a lot of the modeling things I did was freelance. So I learned to be like an agent, a manager, a PR, and an advocate for myself. Because, when other people didn't believe in me and my talents, I believed in myself. So I was able to...
Say that again. That's powerful. You guys, I need you to write that down. Say that again, Chenese.
When other people didn't believe in me and my talents, I believed in myself.
That's so good.
And was able to excel. So, I always tried, like, I was in an industry represented plus size model, but I always had my pictures looking like I was. I always presented myself like I was. I became good at marketing and PR because I wanted to compete with the top people in the industry. And, I didn't have all the opportunities that someone thinner would have, or even someone lighter would have. That's a whole nother thing we don't talk about.
A whole nother topic, Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
Right. But, I was able to get a lot of accomplishments under my belt and even ventured into event production with Love Your Body Day, which was a major
That was
boost for
amazing.
me and exposure. So, God had a plan for me that I didn't even know because I was going out there, trying to be a model and actress, but then I ended up being event producer, host, speaker. Like I did so much things out there that I never imagined, and podcaster.
Yes, and that's been going strong. I mean, it's seeing women like you that let me know it's okay to be good at a lot of things, right? To be able to have an influence and be multifaceted. So, I mean, you are incredibly unusually gifted and talented in that way. And it's just like the fact that you just kept going, right? You kept going. And with that being said, I want to ask you, we're listening to these accolades and everything that you did and just kind of doing your own like journey across the country and making a name for yourself. But at what point in your journey did you choose Chenese? Because everyone has an idea, right? Our parents have an idea what we should be doing. The world has an idea, our agencies, whatever the case may be. But at what point were you like, look, like regardless of what people say or what they think I should have been or what I should do, like I'm just actually going to choose me and I'm going to do this thing called life the way that I know I deserve to do it. And it's going to be healthy and safe for me. I mean, overall, you seem to have had a very beautiful, I'm blessed by you because you haven't really, had like those super ultra traumatic, like your mom and dad are amazing, right? And I'm grateful for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. People feel like they have to have some deep, dark story, like, oh, I came from this and now, and I think it's a testimony in itself that you actually were born into a healthy family and didn't have to go. I'm like, I would rather have that story than I was, you know what I'm saying? So if you could share with us at what point, even having that love and everything in your family, when did Chenese say, you know what? No matter what anyone says, no matter what they expect of me, I'm choosing myself and I'm going to do this thing called life.
Well, like as you mentioned, I did have a good childhood, no traumatic experience, a lot of love, never belittled. However, with that, sometimes that's pressure too, because they have expectations for you so high. It was no way I was going to be a bum because I would have been ruining the family name. So, they expected me to probably be something like a lawyer or a doctor. So my dreams were not in alignment with their vision for my life. So
That's so good.
Especially from the South, what I was trying to pursue is not the norm for somebody in the South. Down here, you be a school teacher or work at the plant or something. It's very few people that relocate to Los Angeles, for a dream. And there were people in my life that discouraged me from relocating because they were like, girl, Los Angeles is fast. And when you grow up with Christian people, they were like, oh, they nasty out there, they full of sin, they gonna bring you down.
Right.
But I had morals and values in me that it doesn't matter where I go, I am going to always, uphold my standards. So it didn't matter. But so I think
First lady.
So I think the point where I really chose me was when I decided to move to Los Angeles, because prior to then, I was in school and, doing everything by the book. That was the first big, milestone in my life where it was something that I decided to do major on my own, even with naysayers. So that was the big thing. And I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. And, I didn't get to be a mega superstar, but I made my mark. And, in my industry, I've done what I needed to do as far as I'm concerned. So I had to come back home in 2014 when my dad got sick. And so that was kind of discouraging because I felt like I was on a upward trajectory and I was just getting started, because 10 years seems like a long time, but people pursue stuff longer than that before they hit it big. But it's like everything had to come to a halt and I had to come back home where it was no opportunities again. But like I said, I'm blessed that over those 10 years, I was able to build my brand, that people still recognize me, people still want to work with me, people still want to interview me. So everything happens for a reason. And, I'm always choosing me every day, all day.
I would agree with that. And what I love about what you said though is that even when things, change, right? Where you had to go home and take, be with your father, and we often are like, oh my God, I'm not around this, but your value for who Chenese is had nothing to do with a geographical location, right? And I love that. And then now that's a great segue. There are people watching and people who will be watching who are at a crossroads in their life, Chenese, where they are either, I'm going to continue the path of pain and, whatever, or I'm going to choose me, right? Which oftentimes this can be lonely. The air is thinner at the top, right? Less people can be there. And what would you say to a person who's trying to make that choice? Like, do I just go with what I know, or am I going to choose myself? And whether it's healing, whether it's, mentally, career wise, that way I can actually operate in the destiny and at the capacity that God has determined for me. What would you say to that person that's at that crossroads?
I would say you have to choose you. You don't have a choice but to choose you.
Okay.
I mean, when you don't choose yourself, you gonna go down the drain, because sometimes you are the only person choosing you. So it really
Wait,
shouldn't even be.
sis. Stop and say that again. She said oh, Jesus. Let's go. Say it again. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes you are the only person choosing you. So you really don't have a choice.
Wow. That's deep. That's real deep. I got goosebumps because it's funny how we do all these things and sacrifice for other people. I'm doing this for this person, and you're doing all that, but they're like, they ain't even thinking about you.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. First lady. I'm like, wait a minute. That's so deep. Elaborate on that. I would love you to elaborate on that.
I mean, you can help others. Like, of course, I came home to help take care of my father because, I'm the only child. That was the right thing to do. But I still did not let my brand die. I still, was traveling, and still, what we have now, what I didn't have early in my career, was the power of the internet and social media. So, I mean, you could be building a brand no matter where you live.
Right.
Even people be at their day job posting stuff on Instagram from their desk. So it's like, it's easy to choose you now because it's so many tools and resources at your fingertips. So you got to choose you. You don't have a choice. It's life or death if you don't choose yourself.
She said, you are the only person. Listen, that resonated. I mean, sometimes you are the only one. Thank you, Shalimar, for writing it again. The person choosing you. And I've written a book, and I did that. Revelation didn't come till right now. That is so powerful, Chenese, because I think oftentimes we are looking outside of ourselves for the affirmation, for the support, or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like, those people, to the extent of what it benefits them, right? If it benefits them, they're like, yeah, and for those times when it doesn't, it's like you are the only person that's actually that can or is around or even wants to choose you.
Yeah, if you're looking outside for validation, you're going to lose every time.
Wow, that's so good. I mean, that's so good. And having deliverance from people is a big thing, growing up in a results-oriented household where it's like, if you do this and you get good grades, you do whatever, and that's your value is based off of what you do or what you don't do. And so I think that carries on in the real world. But that's so powerful, Chenese. Thank you for, sharing that. So hopefully you guys are writing that down or get that takeaway. Shanice, of course, has always, her moving from Louisiana to LA and a whole different type of world, being a country girl and everything, saying, no, there's bigger, there's better. But even when she had to move back, she's like, yo, like sometimes you just have to choose yourself, because 9 times out of 10, no one's choosing you. Wow. You just changed my whole life, Shanice. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I really thought I thought I had this whole choose you situation down, and you just like rocked my world. But for someone like you who's been, exposed to things you have. Now, I, of course, know exactly how to follow you because I've been a stalker since 2007. However, for everybody else, like, how can they connect to you? How can they follow you, be engaged in what you're doing? Obviously, as the world begins to open up, I can only imagine the types of things God has been birthing in you in this time of quarantine. So how can people be aware of that? Where can they follow you? What are your hashtags? What are your, tag, all those things?
Yes, so you can follow me on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm easy to find. No. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and everything is in my government name, Chenese Lewis. So I'm easy to find. And I'm on Clubhouse. That's a new social media you got to get on because it's popping on Clubhouse.
Yo, I finally got an iPhone so I can be on Clubhouse because they discriminate against Androids. Rude.
They do. They do.
That's so rude. And so I finally got an iPhone because my family was going to actually disown me as well for not being on an iPhone. So now that I'm an iPhone person, I'm on Clubhouse, so I feel special. So anyway, sorry.
Well, I still have my Android phone, but I get on Clubhouse on my iPad.
Oh, okay. I was like, how do you do that?
So I'm still team Android.
Oh, okay.
But and my website is CheniseLewis.com. Again, everything is in my name. And also, I have a podcast that is a weekly podcast about plus size fashion. So you can go to that website, CheniseLewisShow.com, or you could just pull it up on any of the podcast platforms that you like to listen on. I'm everywhere.
You are. You in here, okay? She is in here. So you guys got to hear today from the beautiful, inspiring, and consistent Chenese Lewis. I mean, this woman has weathered the test of time for being, so young. And I've always admired her. I'll never forget the first time I got a MySpace message from her, and I was like, oh my God, it was overwhelming.
You remember that?
I do remember. Like, I was like, because I was like, oh my God, like, the first news, I mean, it was crazy to me, just from being in, Madeline's magazine and everything. And you kind of were like, hey, what's up? I see you're kind of up and coming. What's up? And the irony is she's younger than me, but, she was like, hey, little chicklet in the industry, and so she just always has been somebody that, no pun intended, that I've looked up to. And I am it is an honor that you took time out of your schedule, that you took the time to be, this is my, I think, fifth episode, and so that means a lot to me. And just everything you've done for women that are that size curvy or better, is what I like to say, and everything you've done for even women of color in this industry, not just the plus industry, but in the entertainment industry as a whole. You paved the way for women like me and others. So I don't take it lightly. I'm so grateful and I'm honored. And hi to your mother, because I love her, because I'm pretty sure she, I just love her.
Yes, and tell your mother hello as well.
I will. And is there any nuggets you want to leave with anybody before we log off here?
I just want to say, don't give up. I just celebrated 20 years in body positive movement in the plus industry last year. That's how I got the Forbes, because I was celebrating 20 years. So sometimes with this social media world, people want to see instant gratification, but it takes a long time to build a brand and a reputation. So just don't give up, even when times get hard, even when you have to move, even when your money run out, just keep going. Don't give up.
I love that. I so love that. And again, you guys are hearing from Chenese Lewis, who, long overdue. Forbes, 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 has named her as one of the, most influential women in the plus size community and plus influencer. And it's just, I don't take it lightly. This is a powerful woman you guys had exposure to today. So thank you, Chenese, so much for being on the show today. Everyone, again, you are watching Choose You, that Mrs. Globe IGTV powered show that is inspiring you to your life crescendo, showing you how to choose you every day and every step of the way. Next week, I have Doe Jones. She is a 3-time Grammy nominated award-winning singer. She is amazing. I'm very excited to have her on the show next week. So again, thank you, Chenese, and thank you to everyone that's watching. Remember, it's never too late to choose you, change your path, and walk in your purpose. I'm Tasha Haskins. You guys take care. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you, Chenese.
Bye.